Welcome to the Skillful Living program. I'm Pamposh Dhar, and today I want to return to a topic that remains on all our minds, I'm sure. This is, of course, the coronavirus and all the disruption that it's caused in our lives. Not to mention the fears it has unleashed as well. So I think while we sit at home to write this out, maybe it's time to pause and consider how we have been living so far and how we propose to live once the threat of this pandemic recedes. Perhaps we want to reconsider the way we have always carried on. Perhaps it's time to rethink this way of life. Or do we just simply want to return to the old ways of really abusing our planet, which is our only home, of harboring prejudices against one another on the basis of nationality, color of skin, race, gender, social class, religion, and what have you? Or do we want to see if we want to live a better life? What should I say, this pause, this has been forced upon us. But let's try and make some good use of it. Let's not wait for the next crisis before we evaluate our own way of life. The World Health Organization has issued an appeal for a ceasefire in all conflict zones so that human beings can together face this crisis caused by this tiny virus. Do we really need a pandemic to stop killing one another, to stop destroying our own villages and cities, our own homes? Can we not just learn to live in amity, in harmony, with compassion and kindness? Would that not be a better way to live? So let's just take this time to think about where we are headed if we don't change our ways. Do we want to stop polluting our water bodies, our air, and the earth that provides the food that we eat to stay alive, that nourishes us? There are stories these days of cities that until a few months ago were so polluted you could hardly see 1 foot ahead in front of you. These cities now with clear blue skies, of rivers that are cleaning themselves, are refreshing themselves in a way. It's becoming a beautiful earth, but we are imprisoned in our own homes. So can we learn something from this? And maybe stop piling up rubbish, including electronic waste. Maybe take climate change seriously instead of just wishing it away and sort of saying it's not my problem. You know, as Louis XIV infamously said, après moi le déluge. Let's not have that attitude. Let's think of our children and grandchildren. What are we leaving behind for them? So I think it's really a good time to actually consider what we want. And I want to just refer to something that I read in a book some time ago that book has become very famous. This is Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. And he says that the human beings are the only animals that can believe in things that they collectively imagine. So we can believe in things that actually don't exist in the natural world simply by imagining them, and collectively millions of people imagining the same thing. And this, he says, explains the presence in our lives of religions, of countries, also of money, something functional like that, of good things like human rights, a standard of human rights. All of this comes through our imagination and our ability as human beings, not only to imagine, but to share the imagination. But let's not use this unique power we have to continually separate ourselves into groups that seem to sometimes be really violent in their thoughts and in their actions sometimes against one another. We can be in separate groups, that's fine, have separate nationalities. We will have different skin colors, that's not even up to us. So those differences will be there, but can we not connect to the common humanity that we all share? Do we have to wait for a pandemic to realize that we are all connected? We are trying to beat this pandemic by breaking those connections now, because we don't want to be connected in this really unpleasant way. Why not accept that we are connected and use it in good ways? Stop breeding prejudice, stop spreading fake news, and not just fake news but prejudice as well, and violence through thought and action. Can we possibly imagine a future where we live together with other human beings and other species, other animals and plants in harmony, where we allow the world to regenerate itself, where we stop putting so much pressure on our planet, this planet which provides the air we breathe, gives us the oxygen we need to stay alive, provides the food and water that we need also to stay alive. So I want to leave you today with this hope that when we all press that pause button and go inwards, look into ourselves and think clearly, we'll come up with a future. We will together imagine a much better future, one that allows us to show kindness and compassion to others, including others who are less privileged than us, which allows us to show compassion to other species on our planet, which allows us to respect and care for our planet itself. Thank you. I hope you share this imagination with me. I'll see you next week. Thank you.